Hi, I am Mike Sewell. I'm the founder of Asheville on Bikes, and I want to welcome you all to the Mayor's Ride. Thank you very much for coming and riding the city with us. We're going to show you some of the great parts about riding in Asheville. We're going to show you some of the challenges, and then we're all going to share the common vision of creating a city that is the gold standard for multimodal transportation options.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
You wouldn't build a road from point A to point B without accommodating the parking. I think we can all nod our heads and kind of agree with that. Similarly, when you build bicycle infrastructure, you have to take into account the parking for those bicycles, right? And this is a bike locker. Of course, oftentimes when people walk by these, they think they're HVAC systems or something, and because, you know, while they're amazingly useful, they're the most inspired design. Which is why I've gone ahead and gotten permission, don't worry Gary, I got permission, to put one of these on there to kind of pretty it up a little bit. The benefit of these lockers is that I can come here, I wake up in the morning, I bike over here, I can throw this bike into this locker, and just so you're curious, note that, you know, it's if somebody gets locked in there, they can get out. It's a surprisingly common question, and people see that. And inevitably, whenever I throw one of these in here, somebody walks and goes, "Oh, I didn't know what this is," right? And now I can sleep really well. Now, recommendations to improve these is that while these are excellent boxes, many cyclists don't know where they are, right? They're located in here, and it's an example of invisible infrastructure, right? So there are bike lockers in the Rankin deck and in the Civic Center parking deck and the one on Wall Street. But the cyclists don't know they're there. Perhaps this would be better placed in Pritchard Park, or perhaps this might be better placed at the main transit center off of Fox Avenue, so the cyclists can get off. If they have to work overnight somewhere, they can sleep well knowing that their bicycle is in a safe location.
So we've never really celebrated our climbing lane, and while other groups, we all have heard of the ribbon cutting, and one thing about adapting multimodal infrastructure, it's a little bit, you gotta take a little bit of break from tradition. So instead of the ribbon cutting, we have the bike tube cutting. And Barb, we got Yuri over there with a piece of scissors. We would be honored if you would christen our climbing lane.
I would be honored if the vice mayor would do that.
All right, yeah.
All right. Ready? Go for it. All right.
Do we have pictures?
This is one of the challenging areas of our city, and you know that our community is divided between 3 and 4B. You hear a lot about malfunction junction, but there's also another layer to this. If you're on a bicycle or you're walking, this is where your city's infrastructure really abandons you if you're wanting to get to West Asheville. Now, one of the things that we can celebrate is that Clingman Hill, we are going to have a climbing lane on Clingman Hill, so things are improving. So good. But I want you all to turn your heads this way, right, and let's look at our bus stop here. We just had a downpour, and if you're riding the bus, there's no coverage for you, and there's no place for you to sit down. I'd like you to, before we walk out of here, to take a moment and to look at the quality of our sidewalk. We have an inordinate amount of debris covering the sidewalk, and where we have these wonderful trees, right here, we only have about a foot of sidewalk space. So if you're an elder in our community, accessing the bus is going to be a challenge, or if you are in a wheelchair, or if you're any one of us, this is not the quality of infrastructure we can build. So there's a bit of a juxtaposition. We are making progress, but we have a lot of progress to make. So we wanted to bring you here, show this to you. Now we're going to head back to City County Plaza, give you one more opportunity to try off on a bike. All right, good.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride.
I absolutely do think the ride was successful. We got to celebrate some of the new infrastructure put in, and our participants got a real authentic experience in terms of what it's like to ride the city. They got a little rain, they got a little traffic, they got some climbing lanes, so people responded well, and they got the authentic experience.
I think it's, you know, we on City Council see all these plans come in front of us about where we want to have bike lanes and, you know, what areas, what intersections we know are not safe, but it's you know, you see it from a different angle when you get out and you get to ride on them and go through those intersections. And so, yeah, I mean, seeing some of our first, you know, new bike lanes and climbing lanes, that was fun. And going through some of the intersections that are kind of hairy, seeing what that's like, you know, that's helpful too.
I want to get our elected officials and leaders in our community on bicycles. You can't really understand an issue unless you participate in it. And that was like the number one thing, was to get people on the bike and to experience the city, to see what it's like. The long range goal is to continue to build relationships with our city leaders to expedite the implementation of the Bicycle Comprehensive Master Plan.
I want to ride my bicycle.